You know, when we were in high school, I don't know about all of you, but I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. You know, high school was about proms and dates and puberty and all of that. And then at some point we're asked, so make a decision. What are you going to be for the rest of your life? I mean, that's huge. Some people know, some people come into the world and they know, but people, you know, we have families that are whispering in our ear who they want us to be, or what our friends want us to be, or, you know, so we were kind of good at math, so I guess maybe I'll go on Wall Street. And we start these careers that for many people last their lives, and maybe they're in a career that's not joyful. And now, with the years gone by, they actually have a sense of who they are, they have an inner wisdom, and they get to choose. Well, maybe, you know, I've always wanted to ba-dum-pump. And they get to do it, and they can involve their family in that, in supporting them and helping them to create that vision and that dream. And what a wonderful thing for a child to look at. Here's my mom or here's my dad who is starting from nothing, who is actually creating a life that they're actually finding joy in, and I really get to see that going to work really can be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So I think that there are blessings in what a lot of us think is the worst thing that ever happened to us. But we're the author of our own life. We get to create our life in every moment that we live. So we can either think that this is the worst thing or it's the best.
Maybe the right answer is not that we have to make a decision about what are we going to do for the next 10 years or the next 50 years, but rather make the decision that we're going to constantly change. And life is all about evolution. And okay, maybe you decide, well, I want to heal. I want to be a healer. And maybe you say, well, what type of healer? There's many types of healers. And then you decide, well, I'm going to go to medical school. So you go to medical school. Maybe you start out as a surgeon, and you become a very good surgeon. And then later on, you evolve into another part of medicine.
Yeah, you can actually have a lot of incarnations in one lifetime. Yeah, we have to do what lights us up. Life is too short to honor ourselves and to be of service, because there's no other way of being, is who we want to be in the world. And, you know, when you were talking about fear, and fear is not the enemy, if we feel it to the deepest part of our being. I know sometimes I have the habit, oh, I'm not scared, I'm just going to push it down, it's not really happening, you know, oh, I'm more evolved than this, I don't need to feel the fear. And the fear, that green-eyed monster, gets bigger and bigger in us. Just feel it to the depth of your being, and then you can release it. And then you come to a place of peace. Well, and from there, you make decisions.
I see what you're saying. But the bottom line is, the decision is to change. The decision is to work from your heart. The decision is to have a passion for what you're doing. And the decision is not to let fear block you from doing it. It's okay to have fear. It's human to have fear.
Absolutely.
But it's not okay to have fear freeze you in your steps, stop you from doing what you want to really do. Mm-hmm. And by leading that type of example, not in an irresponsible way, but in a responsible way, and by living that type of life, the best gift that you can give to anyone you love, your children, your spouse, whoever it might be, the friends around you, your community, is that you walk the walk and do the do, even when it's uncomfortable, to achieve what you want to do. And then it becomes part of you, and it becomes second nature. And it becomes second nature to face your fears, talk about your fears, be open about your fears, and not let them stop you.
Right.
And then you don't block your creativity, and you move forward. And the most important thing is, there's no rush, there's no time frame. There's no right way or wrong way. You can lean up against that wall very gently for 1 minute or 1 hour, and then move back. And then you can go back again. And you keep going back and forth till you get it right and feel right about it. And you overcome the obstacles that stop you from being you.
Yeah, you know, wouldn't it be great if we could be in the world in a more playful way?
Absolutely.
And when you find the joy in what you're doing, and that, you know, that everything that we do in the world, there's a resoundingness to that. That affects everybody around you. So if you're actually trying to be the possibility, you wake up in the morning and you're looking for a job, or you're even trying to think about what it is that you want to be in the world, take it in a way that's playful. And that opens us up to all sorts of possibilities that we can be.
But the most important possibility is we will attract who we are.
Yes.
So getting in contact with ourselves and realizing what we really want behind that facade that we tend to carry around New York, and projecting that energy, projecting that feeling will attract similar people and will allow you to become who you want to become. Then you become the great manifester. People say they can't manifest. They can't manifest because they're not genuine.
Yeah.
They're not really looking.
Yeah, and I think too, I mean, I love to do this. I love to collage. I like to see my possible future, and I go to magazines and I cut out things that light me up. Whether it's, you know, I'm traveling, it's luggage, it's, you can have sections. It can be your home, it can be your family, it can be your possible job. And I cut things out, and affirmations that either I think of or I see in a magazine or somebody said to me. And I started with a collage that was just on a manila envelope, and it literally grew across my living room wall. And the remarkable thing about making that collage is that you actually get to see what your heart already knows is the truth of who you are in the world. And collaging this possible future that I did for myself, I actually created it. Our abilities to manifest and to be visionaries is our most powerful tool that we have as human beings, and we don't trust it.
Well, we're the creators of our own new reality. Mm-hmm. And once we create our new reality, if we don't like it, we recreate it. So you have this canvas in front of you, and you have this palette with all these colors next to you, and you very carefully and gently create what you want to create, the new you.
Or you can make big splashes.
Whatever.
You don't have to color within the line, whatever, yeah.
And you don't worry about the peer group, because you broke away from it. They can't ostracize you, they can't control you anymore, and you found out the wall isn't invulnerable anyway. Yes. So now you're free.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point, because a lot of times people who are afraid to move, let's say in friendships, may try to talk you out of wanting to go and reinvent yourself, because misery loves company. People don't want you to leave their group.
No.
So then you have to go find a new group of people who are absolutely present in the moment, generating from the now, being courageous, being adventurous, and creating the lives that they really want to live.
Maybe the new group should be called the universe and not a peer group, because being stuck in any peer group, no matter what it does, is still a peer group. Mm-hmm. So just be a member of the universe. Be the member of many groups, and not the member of any particular group, but the member of the most important group, which is the only group that exists on the face of the earth, the group of humans. Mm-hmm. And then you're free. You're free to be you.
You know, we live into what we speak. So start speaking, I have a job. There's plenty of money. There's room for everyone. What blesses one blesses all. We're all in this together. And I know that if I reach out my hand to the loving universe, I will be supported.
I think what's more important is that as we see institutions that we thought were perfect or incredible or way
you mean
above
like
us,
the bank?
The banks,
yeah.
Wall Street, the U.S. government, the healthcare system, the education system, we realize now we can't rely on anything that's been created by an organization.
Right.
Rely on ourselves. We've never thought that we are the center of our own new reality. If you trust yourself, then you're adventuresome. And if you're adventuresome and you're out there looking for excitement to develop this great new reality for yourself, then you taste the entire buffet. You're part of it all. You go through the educational system to learn. You accept what you feel is reasonable, and you reject what you don't think is so reasonable. Someone else may do something differently in the same system, but you respect their opinion and their options to choose. And in that way, the system works. But the system is not going to make you, create you, spit you out and make you this four-door sedan, a certain model, a certain year. No, everyone is different. We're all unique. So the key is be who you are. Get to know yourself. Have the courage to take little baby steps. Walk the walk and talk the talk, even though it doesn't feel comfortable. And as you do it more and more and more, it will feel comfortable. And the rewards it pays is that the people around you will admire you for your independence, not arrogance, just at your freedom to love and be free.
Yeah, and to also remember that wherever fear is present, love is not. You want love in the world, you go out and you be love.
Well, to wrap up today's show, basically, it was about one big choice, the choice of living a life of fear or one of love, and a bunch of little baby steps. And talking about how we begin these baby steps. First, we have to recognize the comfort zone we're in and how to get out of the comfort zone. And we start to see some of the little baby steps evolve. There's many of them, and more will come in the coming shows. So basically, it's a choice. Just remember that. It's a choice. It's continuing change. The journey has nothing to do with the destination, but rather an evolution. Now, next week's show is going to be about being present to the present. And it's going to talk about, or speak about, whether it's a choice to love or a decision to love, which is a big difference. Maybe a combination. Maybe it's a combination.
I'd just like to say about what we spoke about today, remember, when you're feeling fear, allow it. Let it move through you and you can release it. If you want to collage, collage. Create what you would like to see your life look like. Collect old magazines, cut them out, write affirmations. Look at yourself in the mirror every morning and say an affirmation to yourself. Go out and be the love in the world that you want to generate.
Yeah, that's very important. All these little things are the little steps that you need in order to achieve your freedom, your emotional freedom.
It's a huge conversation, isn't it, John?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
and it takes time and patience, and it's all about your choice and fear. So,
I vote for love.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen.
Okay. One other little thing to remember about next week's show. It's about the picture or the frame. And we'll explain that more next week. In the meantime, we want you to have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.